Welcome. I'm Gayathri and I'm passionate about transformative coaching in the realm of life and leadership. My journey towards coaching started with an educational background in psychology and over 20 years of corporate leadership. Today, my commitment to help unlock limitless possibilities within each individual has culminated in the creation of my organization, Realize to Win. As a certified master coach, my philosophy centers around the power of the human mind and its boundless capacity for growth and achievement. My approach is rooted in the belief that with the right mindset, training, and guidance, there's truly no limits to what you can accomplish. My work is just not about reaching goals. It is truly about redefining the very boundaries of potential. Join me every week on my podcast, Catalyze Your Self, where we can dive into mindsets, experiences, and practical steps that will ignite your transformation towards limitless possibilities. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Catalyze Yourself. I am your host, Gayathri, and in all this time, with season 1 of the series, we have focused on how we can make the biggest impact of our own selves and those around us in our current lifetime. We've been focusing so far on how we can take the steps needed to maximize our mind, our spirit, and our body's ability to achieve limitless possibilities. Today, I want to take our thoughts beyond our current lifetime. Today, I want us to take a moment for each of us to consider our legacy. The legacy is the impact of us that remains after our lifetime is complete. The legacy is the reputation we build during our lifetime. It is our influence and impact that remains after we have completed our lifetimes. It is never too late to think about our legacy. Starting earlier allows for more time to actively shape it because life will bring lessons that will help you evolve it and help you evolve your values and goals. Early consideration helps ensure that our actions and choices are aligned with long term impact that we hope to have, allowing us to build a comprehensive and meaningful legacy over time. What we all have to keep in mind is, regardless of our age and where we are in life today, there is no better time as now to bring our awareness and intent on cultivating our legacy's lasting impact. There are so many conventional thoughts on legacy, and some of it could use some reframing. One is consideration of legacy as something of the past or something that we don't have to attend to because it just becomes something of our past. The second is the association of legacy with some type of grand accomplishment. What each of us must keep in mind is that legacy is something we are creating, actively creating right now with every action we take, every word we speak. It is the imprint we leave on the world and the echo of our actions that resonate long after we are gone. And if you really think about our world today in social media, we know everything we put out there will come back years and years later. Everything that we do in the now is part of our reputation, is our legacy. Our legacy mirrors our reputation during our lifetime, and it does not have to be some sort of grandiose accomplishment. Every individual has the power to leave meaningful impacts, regardless of the scale of their actions. Our legacy could be one of character. Often the most enduring legacy is not about what somebody has achieved, but about how one has lived. It could be characteristics like kindness, generosity, integrity, compassion that can define that person's reputation in life and will continue to influence others after they're gone. These qualities can inspire friends, families, and even strangers creating a ripple effect that perpetuates that individual's values across lifetimes. Our legacy could be one of sharing knowledge and wisdom. These lessons learned and shared, and the empowerment it provides to others can be a significant part of our legacy. Continuing, and this continues to influence long after the person's gone. Our legacy could be one of emotional impact, the emotional legacy we have, how we make others feel. It's often more impactful than tangible achievements. Being a source of encouragement, comfort, and positive energy can forge deep, lasting connections that are cherished and remembered. Our legacy could simply be one of living life authentically. Being true and living true to oneself is incredibly powerful. It encourages others to pursue their true selves as well, fostering an environment where honesty and authenticity are what that's valued. Simply the notion that within each of us is the capacity to leave a positive mark on the world underscores that profound influence of our everyday actions and our interpersonal relationships in the shaping of our legacy. Focusing on the subtler yet powerful impacts of daily living and social interactions is a pathway to cultivating our legacy. And this could be a combination of a few different ways for each of us. One is the power of small actions. Daily acts of kindness and compassion can accumulate into a powerful legacy. Simple gestures like listening to someone, offering a helping hand, or providing support during difficult times could feel small, but to those on the receiving end could be life changing. These actions contribute to a legacy of warmth and kindness, remembered and cherished by those who are impacted. Another is the transmission of shared values we hold dear. Legacy is profoundly rooted in values and the beliefs we champion during our lifetime. These principles can be passed down through our families, taught to those who wish to learn from us, or embodied in the culture of organizations we have influenced. This cascading, transmission, sharing of values ensures that our ethical, moral standards live on, influencing others and even generations. Another is our tangible contributions. The work we do, the projects we complete, and the achievements we attain all contribute to our legacy. These can range from small acts to major professional accomplishments or innovations that can benefit society long after our direct involvement ends. And another is our interpersonal impact. Legacy includes our impact on another's lives. This could be through direct relationships like teaching, mentoring, parenting, or through less direct means, such as just simply inspiring someone by our life story, how we have lived our life. The emotional and psychological influence we can have on others often forms a significant part of our legacy. In essence, legacy is built from a combination of what we do, what we say, what we create, and the relationships we nurture in the now. It is the blend of tangible and intangible, it's the personal and the public. It is about the mark we make on the world, which will continue to resonate in the lives of others long after we are no longer present. Now let's look at the three primary ways legacies are formed and recognized. There is accidental legacy, there is inherited legacy, and then there's intentional legacies. The first type of legacy is what's recognized as accidental legacy. An accidental legacy arises without the intentional action of the individual to create a lasting impact. This could be the result of an unforeseen consequence of an action, how others saw and carried forward somebody's words or actions. These legacies are often unexpected. and can be positive or negative. As a matter of fact, any legacy can be positive or negative. For example, a casual remark that inspires a major change in someone's life, or an offhand decision that can lead to significant consequences. While not planned, accidental legacies can significantly affect how individuals are remembered and can influence others' lives in meaningful ways. Some of us may not even be aware of the full extent of our accidental legacy during our lifetime. A classic example of accidental legacy is Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin. His discovery came from him noticing that mold had contaminated one of his petri dishes. He was doing some type of experiment, and there was mold on the petri dish. And he noticed that this mold was killing bacteria around it. And this oops moment led to the development of the world's first known mass produced antibiotic, penicillin. Fleming did not set out to discover a revolutionary modern medical treatment. His finding was simply an accident. Penicillin has since then saved countless lives and has fundamentally changed modern medicine, representing a monumental legacy that was initially accidental. The second one is inherited legacy. This legacy refers to the values, assets, reputations, or burdens passed down from previous generations to the current one. This can include financial wealth or lack of it, family businesses, cultural traditions, societal status, or even unresolved familial issues. Inherited legacies are not chosen by those who receive them, but are a result of the family or community into which you are born into or accepted into. These legacies can shape people's lives in profound ways, offering choices, advantages, challenges, or a predetermined path that could influence what their personal and professional choices are. With this type of legacy, people may choose to embrace or modify or even reject parts of their inherited legacy as they develop their own identities and values. An example of this type of legacy that comes top of mind is the British royal family. And it's a classic example of inherited legacy. And when we sit back and look at the members, you see some who have embraced it wholeheartedly and some who reject it and try to modify it and create and make it their own. Members of the royal family inherit not only wealth and titles, but also centuries of tradition, public duties, and a role in national and international affairs that are predefined simply as their birthright. These legacies shapes their personal and public lives, influencing where they get educated, what they get educated on, responsibilities and expectations placed on their behavior and roles. However, each generation has the opportunity to shape that legacy through their actions and decisions. And this moves the opportunity to another type of legacy, intentional legacy, that I will touch on next. The third and final type of legacy is the intentional legacy. The intentional legacy is consciously crafted by individuals who are aware of the lasting impact they wish to have. This involves deliberate actions, decisions, and efforts to create a specific kind of influence or memory that aligns with their values and goals. Intentional legacies are marked by purposeful planning and sustained effort. This might include creating charitable foundations. It could be writing influential works. It could be building some type of business. It could be actively passing down specific values and knowledge. It could be simply a very specific type of living life. This type of legacy is often the most direct and clear in its intentions and effects. Those creating intentional legacies have a higher degree of control over what they leave behind, although how it's ultimately received can still vary. We very much know the only thing we can control is us and what we do with what we have to contribute. How it's taken by the world is not in our control. And for those of us who inherit legacies, there's a unique opportunity to mold these legacies according to our own visions and values by building on the foundation that we have inherited and reforming and evolving it into something more impactful. It could be that someone who inherited a family business or philanthropic foundation starts intentionally expanding its reach or pivots its focus to align with contemporary needs or personal passions, such as adopting a sustainable practice in a family's business operation, or could be completely shifting a foundation's mission to tackle emerging current social issues. It could be that the legacy someone has inherited has practices that may not fit with the current ethical standards of the world or their personal values. Intentional legacy builders can reform these practices. So even if they're starting from scratch, where you have inherited nothing, or you've inherited something, keep it as a foundation and start building what you were intentionally wanting your legacy to become. For majority of the people, intentional legacy is the most accessible and most likely type of legacy to influence because it depends on deliberate actions and decisions that the individuals choose. Unlike inherited legacies, which are dependent on the circumstances of our birth and familial heritage, or accidental legacies, which are by nature unpredictable, intentional legacies can be shaped by anyone willing to take those purposeful steps. And I can think of a few reasons for this. The first is we have the capacity to make choices that influence our legacy. This can include personal and professional achievements, the values that we instill in our children, our community engagement, or any other actions taken to make an impact. We have the ability to set very specific goals that align with the legacy we wish to have. This could involve career objectives, educational pursuits, creative projects, or philanthropic activities. By setting and working on these specific goals, we are crafting our reputation in life and a legacy that reflects our values and aspirations. With the evolution of technology, we now have modern tools and technology that makes it so much easier to create an intentional legacy. This can be through writing, art, any type of contribution you wish to make, any type of lifestyle that you wish to share, online content. Social media platforms allow for a wide range of impact, and that was not easily accessible in the past. We can choose to build and nurture relationships that align with the legacy we wish to have, how we influence our family, our friends, our colleagues, and wider community can form a significant part of the legacy we leave. We are choosing personal growth and lifelong learning when we choose to build intentional legacies. It pushes us to continually improve and expand our capabilities as we strive to leave a meaningful legacy. We often pursue new knowledge, skills, and experiences that not only enrich our own lives, but also enhances our ability to make a positive difference. We are now able to inspire others by setting an example of how to live purposefully and impactfully. We can motivate those around us, our friends, our family, our colleagues, and even strangers to consider their own legacies. This is a ripple effect, and this ripple effect can amplify the original impact and it can spread positive influences far beyond what the original effort that we put in was. The very act of deciding to build an intentional legacy is so empowering because it involves choosing to stand for something greater than ourselves. It involves a commitment to make a difference, a decision to lead by example, and a resolve to contribute to the well being of others. When it comes to creating our intentional legacy, mindful living gives you an exceptional advantage. Those of you who know me know I am a big proponent of mindful living. I have seen the impact of it in my own lives and those I have seen adopting this way of living life. Mindful living involves a deep awareness of one's thoughts, actions, and impacts, naturally leading to a more intentional approach to life, including consideration about one's legacy. Mindfulness encourages living with intentional, making choices that are deliberate and thoughtful rather than reactive and habitual. When we live intentionally, we are more likely to consider the long term effects of our actions, consciously shaping a legacy that aligns with our values and aspirations. And we know this. One of the core components of mindfulness is increased self awareness. This self awareness allows us to understand our motivations, our strengths, our weaknesses, and the values that we hold dear. With this understanding, we can better navigate our lives in a way that ensures that our actions are in harmony with the legacy that we are wanting to create. When we live mindfully, we tend to reflect more on the impact of our actions and on the environment. This can lead to more ethical, compassionate, and sustainable choices, contributing to a positive legacy that brings impact and benefits to our now, our current, and future generations. As mindfulness increases, so does the pursuit and the purpose of meaning in life. We start to seek roles and activities that offer us fulfillment that goes beyond conventional measures of success, such as career advancement or material gains. This often translates into a legacy of meaningful work, community service, and a creative output that has a lasting positive impact. Mindful living enhances our relationships through improved empathy, communication, and understanding. The quality of these relationships often becomes an important part of our legacy, as strong, positive relationships can influence and inspire others in very profound ways. Mindfulness helps build our resilience. It fosters us to be calmer, more composed in our approach to life's challenges. And this is one thing that we know life will bring us. It brings us highs, it brings us lows, it brings us challenges. And with this resilience, we can adapt to changes and overcome any adversity that comes our way, leaving a legacy of strength, reliance, flexibility, resilience that can serve as a model for others who choose it to be. Long story short, as mindfulness deepens our understanding of self and interconnectedness of life, it enhances the desire to leave a legacy that is not only more meaningful for our own selves, but also beneficial for others. By embodying mindfulness in our everyday interactions, which is our now, we not only ensure that our actions are consistent with our values, but they're intentional and they're laying the foundation for the kind of legacy that we aspire to have. In closing, just as our reputation is built on what people say about us in our absence, in our now, our legacy is built on what remains in people's hearts and minds when we are gone. Both are deeply intertwined, reflecting how we are perceived and remembered based on our life's actions and relationships. By living mindfully and aligning actions with values, we can forge a reputation and a legacy that are both honorable and lasting. And when it comes to legacy, it is not just for those who want to change the world in a large scale. Each of us have the power to impact our own circles, no matter how big or small. It can be through simple things. It could be just being there for another person. It could be mentorship. It could be how we influence our communities or simply leading by example in how we live our lives. Having said all this, there's one point that I believe is important for us to acknowledge. Not all legacies are positive. I touched on this a little while earlier. We all have flaws and we make mistakes. A truly authentic legacy isn't about erasing these aspects, but learning from them and hopefully allowing others to learn from them also. When we look back in history, we know of many instances where there are people who have tried to hide parts of their legacies, but time always brings it out. And regardless of if someone's legacy is positive or negative, there's always a lesson in it for us. As we wrap up today's episode, I encourage you to think about the legacy you're crafting. How does it reflect your true self? Are you mindful to the impact you're having? It is never too late to start. And every day, your now is a new opportunity to contribute to the legacy you wish to have. And if I can support you as your coach, please do not hesitate to reach out. All my contact information will be in the podcast descriptions. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyze Yourself. I'm your host, Gayathri, and in today's episode, if you found inspiration, if you found a message that resonated, please do share it with someone you think could benefit from it also. As always, stay mindful, stay inspired, and continue to catalyze yourself towards the legacy you want to have.